Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Lawrence Okolie has passed his first real test in the heavyweight division, beating gatekeeper Kevin Lerena on the undercard of UyskDubois, the undisputed card at Wembley in London. So Lawrence Okolie was all over Lerena in this one, and it was a shutout on two of the judges' scorecards, 100-90 and 99-91 on the other judges' card. Not sure which round that judge gave to Lerena, who just didn't throw enough punches, and in part that was due to the bigger, longer man in Okolie managing the distance well, but also putting enough on his shots and landing enough decent right hands and other shots early where he was making Lerena think twice about making, different sort of attacks in trying to cut that distance down. There were few and far between, unfortunately, for Lerena in this fight, and his best opportunity was to try to make it to the inside and get some work away. The thing was, when he didn't throw enough punches, but also, as we know, Lawrence the Octopus Okolie ties up well. And when there were moments where Okolie needed to tie up, he did so, and did so effectively. Or on the other occasion where he needed to sort of shut down exchanges, he would lean on his man, chest on chest. And so Okolie was able to nullify a lot of what Lerena wanted to do. And there were stretches of the fight, long stretches of the fight, where you had Kevin Lerena sort of sitting at a range that was comfortable for Lawrence Okolie. And Lerena was sort of looking at him, sort of maybe throwing the odd feint, just moving around a little bit, not really doing much. He was allowing Lawrence Okolie to make the fight, and it was very reminiscent to some extent of parts of the Justice Hooney fight, where it was just round after round of Justice Hooney being in control, racking up rounds. Slightly different because obviously Lawrence Okolie fights different to Justice Hooney, but there was never the sort of danger, I guess, in those moments where Kevin Lerena did sort of throw in late for Justice Hooney. Didn't materialize in this one, and I think Lerena will kick himself as well because he could have done better, I think, in this one, and certainly he wasn't very urgent, and especially late on where he needed to make something happen. Seemingly he was content to try to see out the fight, not take something big. He was looking for opportunities, but those opportunities were just not really there, or he was unable to create them. And I think one of the things I was thinking heading into this one, and he was trying to sort of mimic this at the open workout, was that he was going to be very dynamic, using lateral movement, a little bit of sort of Mike Tyson-esque type movement. Didn't really see it. Didn't see the sort of quickness that he would need to use. There wasn't the lateral movement. He wasn't able to, utilize foot movement, and certainly the foot speed wasn't there. He was just a little bit too flat-footed, a little bit too plodding, and just not dynamic enough to really make anything happen or create any opportunities to put Okolie at risk. There was the odd shot, the odd right hand, right hook, the odd left hook that got through, but it was very few and far between. I mean, we're talking like 3 or 4 sort of punches of note across the fight. There just wasn't a lot landed. So that made things relatively easy for Okolie, who for the most part was able to box the sort of fight that he wanted, to instruction from his trainer Joe Gallagher, using the jab. And certainly early on, the straight right hand was an effective weapon. He was able to string 2-3 punch combos together, often ending in either a left to the body or a right to the body. And you could see that some of those shots that Lerena wasn't expecting to the body were making him just wince just a little bit. He was never hurt or anything, but certainly Okolie was being effective in those early rounds, working in some shots to the body. And I think that sort of paid dividends, along with the right hands that just sort of froze Lerena up and stopped him from making sort of more attacks to the inside. And obviously, being able to tie up as effectively as he can, he was able to manage Kevin Lerena comfortably enough. So, as I say, first real test at heavyweight. We're not really counting that first fight against Hussein Muhammad, which was a knockover job. This fight, a bit. The other thing with this as well, because Lerena, obviously a former cruiserweight as well, could have fought Okolie at cruiserweight. There certainly is a question about, where Okolie is really at, because we haven't seen him against what you call a top heavyweight. Lerena was a solid opponent, but he's a gatekeeper type level of opponent, somewhere between top 20 to top 35, there or thereabouts. Decent and serviceable, but he is an opponent of that ilk. But Okolie now, the what next? Who knows? They're talking, could he be ready for a title? I think we need to see him in with someone who is what you would consider a live dog. Someone who is actually going to, fight on relatively even terms with Okolie, or at least in some aspects, because Kevin Lerena, the much shorter man, and doesn't throw a lot of punches historically, is a big counter puncher, but Okolie really was able to manage this one against the guy who threw not many punches, and he was able to manage the range well. So I guess, Okolie was the favourite heading into this for a reason, and it's proven out. I would like to see Okolie, though, a little bit less in weight, because I think 262 or 264, there or thereabouts, which he weighed in for this one, it's still too much. I think he needs to be closer to 250, if not a little bit less. But decent performance, solid performance. He didn't set the world on fire, but, he boxed to a plan, and he was able to be effective and able to get the win here and advance. He is still, 22-1. Yeah, he just has that one blemish on the record, but unbeaten in his heavyweight run so far. But it's hard to really know where he's at and how to assess where he's at. Similar to, I guess, Justice Hooney beating Kevin Lerena, people didn't really know how much stock to put into it, besides saying, yeah, it's a solid enough win. But he does need to face guys in that sort of top 15, top 20 to get more of a barometer of where he's at. I think we are going to see a big fight soon, and let's hope so, because Okolie, I think, is going to be tough to beat. He knows how to sort of protect himself and tie up well. He does have power, but maybe at heavyweight he's not going to be the big power puncher that he was at a lower weight. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.